Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Jamie.
Welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Mark and Jamie.
Today we're going to make pizza, but we're making it from our own homes, and we're going to use FaceTime so that we can communicate with you and with each other.
Yeah, as Jamie said, we're going to make pizza today, and on account it is National Pizza Day, we thought, wow, how appropriate. And the fact that it is about 3 degrees above zero today with the wind chill, who knows what, below zero. Better to do something inside than outside.
Yes, it is cold for Minnesota. It's below zero. The wind chill is way below zero. I think you said it was 3 degrees. Yeah, but it's been very cold. We ski when it's above, in the double digits, 10 degrees or warmer, and we'll disc golf 33 degrees or warmer. But when it gets to single digits, just wait it out.
All right, for making pizza, you need your most important ingredient, that is flour. We like to use bread flour because it does turn out a really crispy crust. Well, we pre-measured. This recipe calls for 300 grams. We do like to use a kitchen scale. That gives us an exact measurement, and that's important when you're making your pizza dough. And one thing we will do, we may need to add a little bit of flour a little bit later on. You can always add later, you can't take anything out. So we've got this all prepared, and we'll show you how that is put together.
You're going to see a pretty wide difference in the way Mark and I make our dough, although we end up with exactly the same product. He uses a kitchen scale. I won't be using this today. I do this kind of off the cuff, and I'll show you how to do that. He uses measuring spoons too, and I'm not going to use them for this. I kind of prefer the feel of the dough to measuring it up. Not to say that one is better than the other. I think we end up with the same product, but I just like to do it this way.
The recipe for making pizza is fairly simple. There are very few ingredients. So you've got your extra virgin olive oil, sea salt, and yeast. Now we have measured this out. It's in French it's pronounced mise en place. And what that means is everything is in place. We have everything measured out for our dough.
One of the concerns I have for this today is my yeast. I get my yeast from Sam's Club, and it comes in packages of 2 of these things together, and you can see I got 2. One I haven't even opened. The other one is, boy, I'm going to say a third gone, and I'm about to time out on this. I think they're good for about 2 years, and this has got a May 3rd date. So we're getting very close to being no longer usable. So we'll see how it works.
Step 1. What we're going to do now is in a large mixing bowl, we are going to mix together our flour and our salt.
I start out with a cup of warm water. I use warm water to help the yeast. I'm not certain how effective it is, but it is such a cold day today that I think it needs all the help it can get. Mark measured out his 300 grams. I'm going to put in 3 cups, about 3 cups. I just pretty much free pour this. I'm using all-purpose flour. Mark uses a bread flour, and I use a bread flour for my sourdough. But when I'm making a pizza dough, I like to use all-purpose flour. And he measured his oil. I put in about a tablespoon. And salt, put in about a teaspoon. Something like that. And put in some honey. Now you'll notice I only put in 2 cups of flour, or 2 spoonfuls of it anyway. And that's because I'm going to get it started first with just 2 cups, and then I'll put the other cup in just a second. And I don't know if you can see this, but that's honey. I'm kind of happy with it. It came from my own bees in my backyard. But it's cold, and it's taking a minute to get down. And I'm ready to start mixing. Not kneading yet, but I'll mix right now.
Okay, step number 2. We're going to take a small mixing bowl. We're going to add some lukewarm water, olive oil, and our yeast. We will combine that together in this small bowl just to get it mixed together, and then for the next step we will add it to the flour. Now that we have our water, oil, and salt mixture, we're going to pour it into the flour, and then we're going to knead it for 3 minutes. Now, you can knead by hand, or something you can do that's really slick is you can use a mixer. Now you may notice that these are kneading attachments and instead of a mixing attachment, and that's going to help us to get the dough really mixed in and mixed together. Jamie, over to you. Tell me how you knead your dough and get it mixed up really well.
Mark, in answer about how I knead, I start off with all the ingredients in here, and I use a spatula just to get everything mixed up. I haven't put in the yeast yet. I should make sure that I do that right now. This is the only thing I measure, is 2 teaspoons of dry yeast. But that's the only measurement I put in here. And then I just get that to a point where I'm kind of happy. It's kind of sloppy. That's why I use a spatula to keep cleaning the walls off.
Okay, I finished kneading for 3 minutes, and now it's going to rest for 15. Jamie, let me know what step in the process you're at.
Once I get the dough pretty well combined, I'll put in the extra flour. I'll put in maybe about half of it. All I need that for is to get it out of the bowl without anything on the sides. We do this, Mark and I have experimented with this, and we have made dough the night before, and then he came over and we made dough right then, and got our ingredients together for the topping, and we both agreed that the dough that came from overnight was better than the dough that we just made.
And we have a little bit of a ball of dough here. We're going to pull it out of the bowl. We're going to put it on top of a floured cutting board just to give us a sense of how it feels, and if we have to add flour, we will. All right, we've cut our large piece of dough into 2 separate pieces. We've put it into a bowl, and a little trick is to add a little bit of olive oil inside of the bottom of the bowl and then roll the dough ball around with it, and that will allow it to be able to, for us to get it out of the bowl real easy later. And lastly, we're going to take a damp towel, put it over the top, and then it's going in the refrigerator overnight. All right, Jamie, over to you. My dough is in the refrigerator resting. It'll rest overnight. Where are you at in your process?
Now I've been kneading, Mark. I've gotten this down, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so, until it feels good, until it feels smooth, and it doesn't stick. I do the same though as you. Put some oil in the bowl. This is the same bowl I've used throughout. Put the dough in, move it around a little bit. All right, Mark. Now I'm done with my dough, so I'm gonna actually use some clear plastic wrap and put it over the top. And then, this stuff is really sticky. There we go. You know, do like you did and put a kitchen towel over it and into the refrigerator. We'll see it in the morning. Hey, there you are.
Hey, Jamie, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Doing well. All right. Just going to show. I'm on FaceTime with Mark here. He's at his home, I'm at mine. And we're making pizza. You know, I was reading today that there was some comedian or something said that there's no situation in the world, no event so terrible that it can't be fixed by pizza.
Yeah, you know, you're right. And I'll tell you something else about pizza. Pizza is good for about 6 of the meals that you may have in the day. It's good for breakfast. It's good for brunch. It's good for lunch. It's good for an afternoon snack. It's great for dinner. It's great for 9 or 10 o'clock at night, maybe after you've had a beer. And honestly, I think you could probably throw a seventh one in there, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, after you've been out late, you could probably have pizza.
Cold or reheated, a dessert pizza, a fruit pizza, any of that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just everyday run-of-the-mill, everything, universal food.
Well, let me show you the dough here.
All right.
Here we go, got the towel and the plastic wrap on it. Oh yeah, we're good. I split mine in two. I think you're doing the same, and we're well over where we were with the original ball, so we're good to go here.
Now I have already split mine, and the reason I did that is because I'm going to have a pizza, and Lori's going to have a pizza too.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to cover two bases here. But here, I'm going to go over. I'm going to show you what we have for our dough as well. And you can take a look at it. Well, Jamie, here's what my dough looks like. I don't know if you can see that there in the screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yours looks very similar to mine.
Very, very similar. It didn't rise as much in the refrigerator, and I think you made that comment yesterday as you were preparing your dough. You were concerned about the cold and the yeast, and I know with it being very cold outside, it seems like it's taken a little bit longer to rise. So. It certainly has risen here in the bowl. I'm expecting it'll be real easy to pull out.
Okay, good. Well, you're using the same bowl I use too.
Yeah, it just so happens, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be great. The other thing I wanted to show was my mode of cooking. I'm going to use a cast iron pan. Now I know you have to go out in the cold tonight, but I'm going to stay in with the cast iron and do it on the stovetop. I don't know if anybody else has done it this way, but it works out, gives you a real round pizza. So I'll show you how that's done. All right, now we've got the dough lined up. What are you doing for your toppings on your pizza?
Okay, so for my toppings, I'm going to do sausage, which has been slightly cooked, onions, also slightly cooked, mushrooms. I cheated.
Do you have sauteed onions, or are you doing caramelized onions?
Sauteed onions.
Okay.
I have cheated and bought my sauce and my cheese. So what are you doing on your pizza? What's on your topping?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty much the same as you. I have some pre-cooked sausage that I'm going to put on. I have some mozzarella, and I have some spinach. I have a couple of other things. I have an avocado, but I'll put that on after the cooking is done. When I do these, I kind of think of these as being kind of like refrigerator pizzas, in that whatever I have in the refrigerator goes on. And so I'll look in again and see what else should go on, what else is available. I think I have some green pepper in that, so I'll put that on also.
I am going to be making a second pizza. So the way it's done is you slice lemons very, very thin, super thin, and those you will place the lemons on the pizza. Then you use prosciutto, some mozzarella cheese, and towards the end we will put arugula on the top. It's a delicious pizza, and my wife loves it. So, well, I'll probably have a slice or two of that, but I do enjoy my pizza.
All right, I'm ready to get started.
All right, me too. Okay, we're going to be cooking on the Big Green Egg tonight. It's about 3 above 0, but the Big Green Egg really doesn't care so much about that once we get it nice and hot. I fired it up. We got a little bit of heat going in here, but it's only about 300 degrees. Now I'm going to put on the plate setter. This creates a nice flat surface for cooking the pizza on, and once that gets nice and hot, when we cook the pizza on there, it's going to come out really nice. We're going to bring it up to 700 degrees, and we'll show you when we're there. Well, hello, I'm back. Pulled the dough out of the oven, and out of the fridge, and it's had a chance to warm up and rise, and we've got our little pizza dough. You'll notice that it's not exactly a perfect circle, but that's just the way it is sometimes. It doesn't always work out that way. We've kind of just by hand pushed it into the shape that we need. And now we're ready to add some toppings.
While Mark is starting his pizza, I'll start mine. I've got the dough pretty well laid out. It's about the right size. You know, if it gets too cold, I guess, I don't know, maybe somebody knows this better than me, but if it's not room temperature, it will continue to kind of constrict. So it must be room temperature because it's staying the right size. But I'm doing mine in a cast iron pan, as mentioned earlier. And it has really actually worked out quite well in the past. I'm going to put in some olive oil here in the bottom. Just going to spread it out a little bit. Make sure it touches all of it. This is a good way to make a pizza for two reasons. Number one, you're not outside in Minnesota when it's 10 degrees and or 10 below. And also, it gives you a really round pizza, and that's pretty cool.
Almost 600 degrees. I guess at 3 above zero, it's a little hard to get it to 700. So we'll go with 600. It ought to cook pretty well with that temperature. We put them in the oven to keep them nice and warm. And this is Lori's pizza, and the last little bit here is to put some arugula on top.
Now this is one of the more interesting parts about doing a cast iron pizza, is once you got it all made, you put it actually on the stovetop. And now we're just going to wait for that to heat up and for that olive oil to react with the dough, and wait to see some bubbling around the other side, maybe take a look under, and if it looks like I got the crust the way I want it, it goes in the oven, which is preheating at 350 right now. Alright, you can see the steam rising up. Check it again, see how we're doing. We are good to go. Turn that off. We're going to leave that there. Leave it there for a few seconds and see what happens. So it's going to be about 10 minutes for the pizza to be ready to watch for the cheese to melt. Let's take it out. There we go. Doesn't that look right? And now to cut into it. How do you like that, huh? That turned out okay. How are we doing? Are you ready to take a bite?
Well, first of all, there's mine.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that looks great.
Finished up. All right, so we've got my version that I prepared, and then we have Lori's version as well, which is the prosciutto, lemon, and arugula. I am ready to take a bite.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Well, we talked about this. The way I gauge a meal is whether or not I would pay for it if we went out. And this one, yes, very much so. Yeah, this is a good pizza. I am tasting some char in this though too. That's a good flavor.
I got some char myself. There's a little bit of char. And you know, let's explain char a little bit, because char does not mean burn.
No.
Char is it just gets that crust just cooked enough and maybe even gives a little bit of a smoked flavor, especially off the grill.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it doesn't taste burned. And that's a distinction that one has to make.
It's like another flavor thrown in.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Speaking of flavors, how did your flavors come together?
The flavors came together well. The mozzarella brought it all together. The Italian sausage was a good idea. I can't actually taste the spinach, although I feel a lot better knowing that it's in there. So I don't know if that's of any value.
Yeah.
Even though I know that it's all wilted, you can see it's all wilted.
Right, right.
I was going to put some feta in it. I'm glad I didn't. That would have been too salty.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no, I'm really happy with it.
Well, then the other pizza that I have is the one with the prosciutto, lemon, and arugula. And I'm going to talk about the flavors that go on there, because you've got the saltiness of the prosciutto and just a touch of fat. And then you have the acid of the lemon, and then the peppery of the prosciutto, the arugula, and boy, does that come out nice.
Yeah, I bet it does. Well, we had it at your house before, and it was really tasty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I keep making the same pizza all the time, using the same ingredients, and there are so many, and I listen to you, and you talk about putting on the lemon and the arugula and the prosciutto, and I just keep making the same one, and so I should be branching out somewhat in the same fashion that you were doing. Maybe next time I'll do something like that. But
well, I'm with you. I keep sticking with the same thing. I do my Italian sausage, mushrooms, and onions.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a pizza to me. I just love it.
yeah, and so do I. And so if I'm going to make a pizza because I need a dinner, and I'm going to, I don't know, watch a movie or something like that, I forget what I'm eating, and I just eat, and I pay attention to the show. So I guess it doesn't matter as much, but working with you on this now, I want it to come out well, and I'm real happy with the results.
Yeah, me too.
It sounds like, yeah, so good. A success story, I do believe.
I think so too. Wow, what a great meal. I really enjoyed this, and again, food unites us. Well, everybody, if you enjoyed what you see, please hit like, and please subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you coming back. Thanks for coming.